the world of the NBA and the world of entertainment did come together. The Britney versus Wemby story is out there. I don't know what it's being called, but I'm trying to read through this TMZ story today. Britney Spears and Wembanyama both ended up at a restaurant at Aria. It is the Catch restaurant at the Aria Hotel, and this was last night, I think around 8:30 Vegas time. So Victor and his people are walking in. Britney and her husband are walking in, and I guess there's security detail with both, as you could understand. Fans start to realize, obviously they see Victor first probably, and then some realize Britney's there. So that kind of starts to get a little crazy. Britney reaches out and taps Victor Wembanyama on the shoulder to try to get a picture with her and her husband. She recognized him, and she's a basketball fan, apparently, or enough of a fan to know who he is.
Britney, really?
I guess so.
All right.
And so as she's doing that, the guy in question here is not Victor. It's a man named Damian Smith, who is, in this story, what do they call him? Damian Smith is the director of team security for the Spurs. There's a source saying, there's one version of the story that he literally slaps Britney Spears.
Ooh.
There's another version of the story that he grabs her hand and gets it off of Victor, and it's her own hand that hits her in the face. There's two different versions of that story. I also read that afterwards, once everything happened, it wasn't as big. It wasn't like some massive deal right then. She eventually went to her table, kind of calmed down. Then he went over there, like he and I guess another member of the Spurs. No, the security guy.
Okay.
Went over there to apologize and say, hey, I'm so sorry. You know how it is when security gets wild and crowds get wild or whatever. And at that point, apparently, one report is she accepted the apology. But then later on in the night, I guess she and her security people talked, and they decided to like file a police report, and it's battery or whatever.
Oh,
so
man.
I don't know how how serious the charges are going to be. Just because they made it they did file a case and there's an investigation going on, it doesn't necessarily mean that like official charges are going to be filed. But she did file a police report after the incident.
Okay. So I want to try to play devil's advocate for everybody in this, situation here.
Okay.
First off, Britney, this ain't 01 no more. This isn't hit me baby one more time. You're not her no more. You're not. You know how everybody says I'm him? Like Britney was her from like 99, hit me baby one more time, to maybe around 03, 04.
Mm-hmm.
And we know she's had a lot going on with her pops and her sister. Like Britney's family is messy. It's really messy. All that stuff, like basically owning her and stuff. Like she was treated very badly throughout her career, which she kind of lost it a little bit. Like Britney, she ain't all there. And that medulla oblongata, she ain't all there, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
Something. So I could see Britney running up like a mad woman, trying to tap a 7'5" future phenom, which you can't touch him. I'm sorry. The dude was born in 04. He does not see that run that you had, where Britney had the double album cover. One side was blue, one side was pink. Chad, I remember that, Britney. She was in the skirt, girl next door, and then she turned it on when she had the snake on the neck and stuff, and Toxic. You ain't that Britney no more. So you can't be going up touching folks in Vegas.
Plus, you got to remember, Victor's so tall, she's got to be on her husband's shoulders to touch his shoulder.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, that had to look really weird.
There's a lot going on. Now, Damian, bruh, you wrong for slapping Britney Spears, dog.
By the way, there's another part of it where he supposedly told her he wouldn't have slapped if he knew it was her. It's like, wait a minute, so you're going to slap a rando like that, but you wouldn't have slapped Britney?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, but again, Britney hasn't been that. She hasn't been her in a minute. So Wembanyama, he don't know who Britney Spears is. If he does, bravo to him. That's his catalog's deep then. But dude wasn't even alive when she was at her peak. So again, the Spurs, that's their investment. But Damian, come on now. Come on now. You got to understand your surroundings. Like, it shouldn't have gotten to that point.
No.
Like, she shouldn't have gotten that close. It should have been like, wait a minute, ma'am. Bam, blocked her off, give her a good look. Like, oh, wait, you look familiar. Oh, you're Britney Spears.
Hey, okay, Britney, what's up?
Like, I'm sure she had some type of entourage or people. It wasn't just her and her husband, was it?
Right. And you're walking into a restaurant in Vegas. There's tight quarters going on here. You can't honestly believe nobody is going to touch Victor Wembanyama at all.
I mean,
dude, what kind of world are we living in? Are you really not prepared for what's about to happen?
You got to be prepared. Like I know in San Antonio, they probably haven't dealt with this type of superstardom type of guy because we know how low-key Admiral and Tim Duncan and Ginobili and TP were. All those guys were low-key. They didn't go out. They weren't out at all. Victor Wembanyama, he's going to change that. He likes being seen. He's done multiple podcasts. He talks to media frequently. Like everybody else kind of just hid and did their own thing. That's why they fit with the Spurs so well. So this, the security team, they ain't used to this. They're not used to it. So
no.
in a way, I kind of get it, but still, like, yeah, they were wrong for how they did. You can't slap no Britney Spears, but also, Britney, you can't be running up to touching folks. Even if you Britney Spears, you ain't that Britney Spears no more. Yeah. That's why you in Vegas.
That's wild. Yeah, there's I don't know if there's going to be video. There's some still shots of kind of around the moment, but I don't know if we're going to get an actual video of the moment where you're seeing. There's one report that, again, her own hand might have been what hit her in the face, and then there's a report that he slapped her to the ground.
No.
So we're going to need to figure out maybe exactly what happened there. But yeah, that's clearly unnecessary. And it's weird because how much time has Britney spent in Vegas? Lots.
Yeah.
A ton. I don't know how long, Victor and the Spurs folks have been in Vegas, but it just feels like there was a massive overreaction there. And again, we don't know exactly what she did, but if it was just as simple as a tap on the shoulder, hey, can I get a picture? That's got to be expected amongst that security group. I'm sorry. You have to expect somebody in Las Vegas is going to walk up to Victor, tap him on the shoulder, arm, elbow, whatever they can reach, and say, hey, Victor, can I get a picture? I love you. I've been to France. It's going to happen all day long, fellas.
So you wouldn't be surprised if Damian got replaced?
No, I would not.
Yeah, would I?
In that spot. Maybe he can stistill be on the team. Maybe he can still be in the detail. But as far as the person that maybe is bringing up the rear there, bringing up the,
he might have to start following Keldon Johnson from now on.
As far as the guy who's covering Victor's 6, it's maybe a different guy now. Yes.
This dude's the biggest prospect since LeBron. Like, I mean, we got to be on our P's and Q's. We got to have our head on the swivel. Like, anything can happen at any time. This world is crazy.
Brittany's just a little younger than me, right? If I'm 48, Brittany's mid-40s?
Yeah.
A mid-40s blonde woman walks up to Victor Wembanyama, taps him on the shoulder, and your first thought is, Paya! No. Was she really posing the threat? Was she going to body Victor up? Come on, man.
That's tough.
She could have hit him with a purse full of doorknobs for 5 minutes, and it might not have affected him until you could get there. Calm down. Please.
Yo, when Britney dropped that toxic video, that changed the game.
Man, Britney was something.
She had Tyson Beckton, whatever, Beckford on the bike and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, Britney likes her coffee black too. She going all out.
Uh-huh.
Man, what a time.